Jonathan Pogash is the cocktail guru, a mixologist and hospitality expert.
See? You know big words. Dude, I'm the cocktail guru. Cheers.
Jeffrey's his dad, a wine and spirits author, historian, and consultant.
Oh, I do my homework.
With decades of experience, they're always looking for the next big thing. Join this father and son duo for a few laughs as they explore the hottest trends in hospitality with the service industry's leading trailblazers and tastemakers. Welcome to the Cocktail Guru Podcast.
We're back for another episode of the Cocktail Guru Podcast.
Yes, we are.
Is that like a radio, like an old-time radio DJ? Hi, this is Casey Marshall. No, that doesn't sound like Casey.
We're here for another episode of the Cocktail Guru Podcast.
I don't know about that.
We're still in season 3, I believe.
That is silly. That is silly because he's got a little drink in his hand. Yeah.
Well, it's silly season, isn't it? Always silly season.
The holidays. Yeah, the holidays coming up. Silly.
But also in honor of our guest, I have something special in my hand.
I have
a glass.
That was our guest. Our guest is just exclaiming in pleasure over there.
And if she smelled it, she'd be even more enthralled with what this is.
I know. You don't have to tell me. I think I know what it is.
Yes, the color is gorgeous. The nose is just unbelievable. C'est un vieux cognac très rare. It's a very old and rare cognac. Should I tell you specifically what it is?
Sure.
Well,
Up to you.
It's a brand I used to represent for many years.
Is it Hennessy? Can I guess? Is it Richard Hennessy?
Richard Hennessy. Richard Hennessy Cognac, which is, at the time, I'm not sure it still is, was the oldest cognac that was released by the Hennessy firm. They may have something older now, I don't know. But it's a luscious, gorgeous, very rich, complex cognac in honor of our guest, who is very much a cognac person. She is a BNIC cognac educator. She's a modern bartender, but mostly, and I can relate to this, and I agree, she's an unrepentant hedonist. An unrepentant hedonist, and so am I. So I can relate to that. She got her start as a waitress in New York City, where I think she grew up, and she started that when she was in high school. And eventually, I'm skipping here, in 2008, she found her way to the famous Clover Club cocktail lounge at the very beginning of the craft cocktail movement, or we can say at the dawn of the craft cocktail movement. She is really a very talented and spirited person. She plays piano. She loves music. She loves to travel. She loves to eat and drink. And she loves ginger tea with spice.
Oh my gosh.
But here's something she doesn't like. I know what she doesn't like. Her pet peeve is not having a wine or cocktail list to peruse in a bar or restaurant. And her name is Miss Marshall.
Franky Marshall.
Wow, what an intro. I'm so happy to be here, finally. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. So thank you both for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Franky,
we've been looking forward to it as well.
Franky, we always ask our guests a simple yet complex question when they come on. What is your desert island cocktail?
Oh gosh, desert island cocktail. You know what? It's probably going to be a martini. I love a really cold, wet gin martini with a twist and an olive, please. But don't put the olive in, just on the side. Thank you.
You're speaking my language. Yes. Very, very precise and particular tastes.
Are you surprised?
I am absolutely 100% not surprised. But Franky, you and I, you're in New York City right now. I can tell by the siren in the background.
Yeah, sorry. All the windows are closed. I don't. You know what? That's city life. What can I tell you?
That's what happens.
It adds
I put the do
ambiance.
not disturb. I put the do not disturb sign in my windows. All the neighbors can see, but they don't care. Nobody cares.
This adds ambiance to the podcast.
It does.
Right.
I mean, don't they see the red light flashing outside your door? Now we're
This is not a red light district, please.
My gosh.
And if this is the family show,
only you.
I thought.
Frankly, Frankie, only you crossed that line. But that's what we love about you, because you're definitely a line crosser.
Yes.
You
And a hedonist.
A hedonist, I guess you could say. But Frankie and I go pretty far back, right?
Well, I mean, do we need to talk about years and things like that?
No, because you look exactly the
Jonathan
same.
Pogash.
You have not. Frankie does not age one bit.
No, she doesn't. Even though she's still very young, I met Frankie a long time ago as well. I think with you, Jonathan, at probably at a USBG meeting in New York. I'm sure
that sounds about right. We definitely met through the USBG. When I call Jonathan Pogash J-Po. Can I still call you J-Po? J-Po?
You can.
Anyway, so
yes, you can.
So I met J-Po way back when he was president of the USBG. And I have to say, I'm not just saying this because we're all here, but he always made an impression on me because he was always trying to keep everyone together. I remember we went on a couple of excursions, and he said, "No, I want the group to be together. So that was always really important to him. This kind of unity of the group, and that I always remember that. And those early days of the USBG were very formative for me, and just really, really important because I met a lot of great people. And it was just a different time, a different era. And so thanks again for that.
It was really the beginning of this craft cocktail movement, as we say, as we talk of it. It is the dawn of the craft movement, cocktail movement. And I think everyone was unified in those. I was so surprised and enthralled and enchanted with the fact that everyone seemed to stick together, even though they were all doing different things, working at different places. But there was a unified sense that you were all together to bring cocktail lore and the craft of the cocktail to the world.
Yeah, and also I think because everything was so new at that time, we were just discovering so many things, whether it was, different recipes or techniques. And, and I'm really going to make it sound like we're old now, but things weren't as they are now. It wasn't just you went on Insta and suddenly you could find, connect with all these people just like that.
Right.
It took a little longer, and it wasn't, not all this information was out there yet, right?
Right, yeah.
And so we were all learning from each other at the same time, and it was all very much like, wow, look at this. Well, we can go to this event, and it's going to be sponsored, and a brand's going to take us out for lunch. It was like, wow.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, we are dating ourselves a little bit because that was nearly 20 years ago, which is...
Stop, not... What's...
Wow.
What are you saying? Well, first of all, no one else is dating me, so someone's gonna the jokes.
Whoa.
Jokes are free. Wow. I know, I had to get one in there before you did. But now, it wasn't quite 20 years ago. It really wasn't. It wasn't quite 20. Okay. Not for me, we'll see. But for you and your old self, yes.
Okay. Well, to make you all feel younger, I've been in this business for 50 years.
How was that even possible?
I know.
How is that even possible?
It is.
Oh my god!
But speaking of getting into the industry, Frankie, you grew up in the city, yes?
Yes. But moved around quite a bit, though. Yeah. But yes,
moved around because of
just movement. People move. Parents, jobs, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, definitely, mostly in the city. I did my year abroad in France. You might be getting to that, but yes. So lived a little here and there. So.
Yeah, well, that's where in France did you study?
Strasbourg. Strasbourg.
That's my old stomping ground. Yeah.
Really?
Well, yes, because I used to represent for 18 years. I represented all the wine producers in the region of Alsace.
Ah,
Strasbourg is
okay.
the capital of Alsace, as some
Yes.
He
out
was
there may know.
he was like one of the OG brand ambassadors.
Well, I represented you. You work with the BNIC. I was employed directly by the CIVA, the Comité Interprofessionnel du Vin d'Alsace.
Aha. Okay.
All,
Wow. That sounds.
all the growers, shippers, and cooperatives in the
Yeah.
region.
And
Right.
nobody knew Alsatian wines. You were called Mr. Alsace, and my mom was Mrs. Alsace.
Madame.
Sorry, Madame Alsace.
Wow, I had no idea.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that area is really fascinating. Obviously, it's right on the German border, and the culture is quite different than you say, obviously, than the South or than Paris. Just one little correction though, I don't work for the BNIC.
No, you work
Uh,
with
Yes, I'm a.
BNIC. Yeah.
Yes. So just to make that
Alongside of, in
right.
conjunction with, because you are BNIC certified.
Exactly, certified by the. And just for anyone who doesn't know, Bureau National Interprofessionnel de Cognac. So they're basically kind of a body that represents and promotes the cognac region
all-
and
all the
growers.
growers and producers. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And Frankie, when so you started working in hospitality while you were still in high school, is that right?
Yes, I did. Yep, started doing that waitressing and that kind of thing, and scratched and clawed my way up from there.
What was your first bar job?
The first bar job, what was it? Working in a kind of a neighborhood bar. Actually, no, that's not right. I was working in kind of B and C list nightclubs. Places that one should not speak of. And so just
like
just
the tunnel. Did you work at the?
Not quite. No, I didn't
Okay.
work at the tunnel. Literally places that didn't exist for very long because they were louche establishments. You'd come in. I remember going into work one night and there was just a sign on the door saying closed. You know what I mean? It was that kind of thing where you never knew what would happen when you showed up. If you'd had ice or I worked at a place that was run by Teamsters. I still don't really know what Teamsters are. They're kind of a strong union. But it was always these places where you just didn't really ask a lot of questions. But yeah, that's kind of how I started working. And then, literally from there, just kind of got tired of that kind of life. Although I was definitely making a lot more money then, or not. Well, it was a different kind of money. It was just that kind of throw the bills up in the air because it was just.
It was that kind of establishment.
It was a little bit like that, yeah.
So yeah, I know. It's same with me. Going home with like wads of cash and not paying enough taxes probably for what you were making.
Speak for yourself, Jay.
Is anyone there? Who's there from the IRS? Hopefully nobody.
But it was just, again, different times. Things have just changed so much. I'm sure there are people like still making money like that somewhere. Vegas, right?
Maybe Vegas.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
well, I want to talk about how Miss Franky is, I think you would call a style icon. And we're going to talk about that in one quick sec. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, Jonathan here. If you're into swag as much as we are, then look no further than our Cocktail Guru shop. The items in our store have been personally chosen, handpicked with care by me, I'm Jonathan, and my team of Cocktail Gurus. A water bottle with a stainless steel straw? Yep. T-shirts? Hoodies? Snapback hats? Signed copies of Mr. Boston Bartender's Guide? Cocktail box kits? Bar tools? And more! You betcha! We've even managed to create a onesie for that mocktail lover in your family. So head on over to shop.thecocktailguru.com and use code GURU23 for 10% off your first order. It's a great deal. That's shop.thecocktailguru.com, 10% off with code GURU23. Cheers.
And now we're back. Miss Franky, the style icon. You've always been, ever since I first met you, you've always been very fashionable, a fashionista and stylish and kind of setting yourself apart from the crowd. which I love because it's so you, and it's kind of morphed into, I think, because you do a lot of hosting and speaking engagements, and you're always looking like you're just dressed to the nines and fabulous.
Well, first of all, thank you. I appreciate that. It's only in the last couple of years that people have started talking about it, or me in that context. But yeah, I think I've always been, because I do care about the way that I look. And that might sound very, I don't know, an obvious thing to say, but I do. I make an effort and I try to look, and I just have a lot of clothes, to be honest with you. I've got a lot of stuff. A lot of jewelry and a lot of shoes. And so I wear them. I try to anyway. So yeah, it's important to me, and just to represent myself in a certain way. But I'll be honest, even when I'm not around industry people, when I'm alone, and I still like to, look good.
Yeah.
Yes, and you are one of the few fashion plates of our industry.
Oh my goodness.
A what?
Yeah.
A fashion plate?
A fashion plate.
A fashion plate.
What does that mean?
Means someone who looks like they've just walked out of a fashion magazine, someone who's very up on fashion. And
well, I
presents herself
fashion plate
beautifully.
Wow. Well, I thank you. I wish I dressed up a little bit more now. It's sometimes I'm on the run. I'm sweating a little bit.
Oh my gosh. Franky,
it looks great.
Everyone needs to have video and be watching the video because Franky is showing us her outfit. She looks amazing. You look amazing.
That kind of looks like a peasant outfit of some, like a Hungarian or Czech peasant dress.
Yes, I'm channeling, Mittel Europa.
Yes,
but via Brooklyn.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
No, thank you.
And what? So moving on to spirits. So you are, as you were saying, a cognac educator. You also have assisted or have been a huge part of bringing a little-known product into the forefront of the mixology scene, and that is Pinot de Charente. Pinot de Charente.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
And so what sort of how did you get down the avenue of cognac and Pinot de Charente?
Well, I'll try to make it fast. I won a competition. I used to compete a lot in cocktail comps.
Mm-hmm.
So I won a cognac competition. There's a lot of alliteration coming. It was for the caps. So through Tales of the Cocktail, I was a cocktail apprentice. So it was a cap cognac competition. So I won in 2000 something, and my prize was a trip to Cognac. And I got to meet the people from the BNIC, got on their radar, and I meet some producers, that was part of the trip, visiting houses, that kind of thing. And then I came back and I was invited to apply to become a cognac educator. And that's how that happened because, they knew me. So someone from the agency invited me to apply. So, and that same person, I always give him a shout out. His name is Bertrand Blanchet, because he was the one who invited me. And then he started to work with Pinot as well. And he said, do you want to come and work with me again? And I said, sure, absolutely. So it was really that kind of serendipitous thing. Again, came from bartending, came from competing, and led me to this road.
And for those who don't know, can you give us a quick little rundown of the difference between cognac and Pinot?
Well, of course, there's a big difference in that cognac, of course, is a brandy, right? Pinot de Charente it falls into the Mistel category, fortified wine. So it is 3 parts grape must or grape juice and 1 part cognac. Technically, it's cognac eau de vie because the minimum age of the cognac that goes into Pinot is 1 year. Of course, the minimum age to be called cognac has to be 2 years. So that's a difference. We have cognac, which is a separate entity, a separate spirit. And then cognac is in the Pinot de Charente, which is, again, falls into the fortified wine category. They both have to come from the same region of the Charente-Maritime. Pinot's got a separate set of rules and cognac has a separate set of rules, but that's what they are. They're 2 completely different things, but again, intertwined. That's the short version.
And both beautiful, beautiful beverages. Both fantastic.
Absolutely. And I have to say that I do feel privileged that I don't work for a brand, but I absolutely get to represent the categories So I get to work with all brands and all producers, and very, very, very proud because they're both liquids that I believe in. And whenever I do trainings or introduce people to either of them, people are really excited about them, especially with Pinot, because Pinot's newer to people and they really don't know. A lot of people really didn't know what it was before I introduced them to it. Before we did, all of us, well, me and a couple other, Hoke Harden, who was my partner in Pinot for some time. So yeah, it is exciting to work with, as you must know, Jeffrey Pogash. Should I call you Daddy Po? I'm not sure what I should call you.
Yeah, you should call him Daddy.
Call me anything, but don't call me late for dinner. That's all.
It's Papa Pogash.
Jokes keep coming.
Papa Pogash.
Papa Pogash.
Yeah, Papa Pogash.
That's just fine.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. But you know what I'm saying. So my point was, it's just when you work with categories or brands that you really love, it makes such a big difference. And I'm to the point now where I can't work with anything that I don't 100% believe in. And why should anybody at this point? Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, I vowed I'd never work for another person in my life that I didn't love. Why I'm working with Jonathan and nobody else, just Jonathan.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Yeah. Well, you're lucky. We still. I'm not quite at that point yet.
No, you're not. You're too young. Too young. I'm of retirement age.
And
are you?
But still going.
Frankie, I went on one of those BNIC trips as well, and I don't know if we were on the same trip. Maybe we were, maybe we weren't. I don't think so, though.
No, we weren't. We weren't.
But
I would have remembered.
Yeah, that was great. I think we went to 4 or 5 cognac houses, and I remember the insanely luxurious dinner at the Hennessy house or the Hennessy.
Oh yeah,
with cigars on the patio, and oh my gosh,
yes, definitely. Oh yeah, I've had some incredible experiences over there. Definitely went on that one, and there's just so many brands. And I actually went by myself. When I say by myself, I financed my own trip last October and visited some houses that I wouldn't normally have gotten to visit, and some smaller ones with great producers. And it's always that same spirit of welcoming and really wanting to show you around it. And they've gotten a lot better at transparency, which I really appreciate now. There's a time when you couldn't talk about certain things. And now it's just, there's just a lot more, just care. There's a lot more care. And as I said, a lot more transparency and a lot more just outreach to the trade and community. And, it's changed. It's evolved quite a bit. And I like the direction it's going. A lot more diversity as well.
Yes, I
love the spirit.
I love cognac, the region, and the spirit. And I was fortunate enough to be one of the group leaders on a number of discus trips to cognac. Council of the United States. So.
Yes. I'm about due for another trip as well. Just throwing that out there.
I think we're all due for another trip.
Well,
right?
If you know of a trip, we'd be happy to accompany.
Yes.
Note to all the cognac producers if you're listening out there.
I volunteer as group leader.
All right.
Frankie, one thing that I love is that I get to see you when you're doing all of these sort of appearances and hosting of award ceremonies. Isn't that right?
So yeah, I've been doing a lot more of that lately. I think one of the first ones I did was I hosted the red carpet at Tales. I think that was in 2019-ish. And then, since then I co-hosted Speed Rack. I did the Angostura. They had their 10th anniversary competition in Trinidad, which is a lot of fun. And recently I've done the hosted Tales again. The COVID awards in 2021.
Oh, like the online thing, right?
Yeah, the online. Yeah, it was in New Orleans. There was a few people there, but it was definitely the lockdown version. And then 50 best, the world's 50 best, right. North America's 50 best. Yes, I've done that twice as well. So that was big production,
right?
A lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun, but a lot of a little bit of pressure there because it's, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's different to other awards in that it's one person, in that case, myself counting down all 50 plus some special awards. So there's no, other people coming up to present, like with tales or something like that. So yeah, that's a big one.
And so did that, did that just happen, or is that coming up? I forget.
That happened in May.
Oh, in May, right.
Yeah, May of 2023. In 2022, it was in June. So this May, it was in San Miguel de Allende in Mexico. Last year, the first one was in New York in June. So, yeah, it's been exciting. Not sure what's going to happen for 2024, but it was, either way, it was a good run.
You are definitely a world traveler, Franky. And
Yes. What is your favorite? Why do you like traveling so much? What is your favorite part? Is it kind of like alternate realities?
I have to say my mother put the bug of travel in me. Shouldn't put it that way. My mother introduced me to travel by taking me on a trip for the first time when I was about 10 years old. I went to Europe for the first time. But I've had a passport forever because going back and forth to other places. But it was then I just fell in love with Europe and just always wanted to be there. And yeah, I just love traveling. I just love, honestly, discovering different cultures and being in a place where I can't really speak the language, although that can be problematic sometimes. But yeah, I just really, it's exciting, and I mean, of course it's exciting, but it's the food and it's just seeing all there is to see, and yeah, just getting away. I mean, I love New York, but sometimes it's just great to get away from Brooklyn and the sirens and the kind of madness of it, and just to go to another type of madness that you're not as familiar with.
I know that one of the places you visited was Osaka, Japan. I think
yes, I have been to Osaka. Yes,
there at the bar Hemingway in Osaka.
Yeah. Did I go to bar Hemingway?
I didn't even know there was a bar Hemingway in Osaka.
Saying that you went?
But yes, I think you did.
Is that the one that's? I think is that the Spanish themed one? It's called Bar Hemingway.
Cherry Bar.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And how did you know that?
I do my homework.
So Franky is a very private person, in the background, but Dad has pried into Franky's personal. No, not her personal life. Franky keeps her personal life and her professional life very separate.
Good.
Well, there's a really simple reason to that. But yeah, no, I actually do put up a lot of my trip photos on Facebook. So I don't know who's still using Facebook these days. But yeah, so that's definitely up there. But yeah, just back to that bar though, that was an incredible experience because I stumbled upon it looking for another place. And had such a great, I got there right at around 4 p.m. And yeah, had a sherry, had a pan con tomate, and the gentleman that owns the place, he'd been to Jerez a bunch of times, and it was just this Spanish bar in the middle of Osaka. So yeah, that was a great place. But I forgot it was called Bar Hemingway. But yes, you're right.
Kind of an unusual name for a sherry and tapas bar.
Well, right? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Osaka was wonderful, and I went to Kyoto as well on that trip, and Tokyo. I did the greatest hits, and that Japan trip, it was a little challenging, being that particular one because of the language and because of and
it's just so far. Traveling there is so far, and the time difference. It's like it takes you 2 days on either end just to adjust.
For sure. And I'd love to go back because there's so much more to see. I'd love to go to the, Kyushu Islands. I'd love to go to Hokkaido. Yeah. And Japan, it has definitely a lot to offer, like many countries. Yeah.
Where would you like to go that you haven't been yet?
That's a great question. I always used to say I want to go to one of the stands, but I don't think the stands are a good place to visit, right? No. Any of the stands. No. I actually just saw Wondrich the other day, and he just got back from Kyrgyzstan, so maybe that one. But I have been to China, and I haven't been to Hong Kong, and except for a layover. So I'd actually maybe like to go there, and I'm part, like, my maternal grandfather was actually from Hong Kong, so I'd like to see part of that. Plus, visit all the bars. There's so many great bars in that part of Asia, and I haven't been to India either, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm anywhere. I'll go. Let's go. Want to go?
ready.
Should we?
Yes.
Can we
I'm
plan
always
another
ready to
trip?
travel.
I know. I do like planning trips.
I know. Well,
See.
we've been to what together? Where have we been? Boston. We've been to Boston, and
Yeah. That's not very exciting.
well, hey, you planned it, so don't blame
Yes,
me.
we did do a trip to Boston. I don't know what
Yeah,
else. Did
we
we
did.
go overseas together?
No, I don't think we have. No, we
No.
haven't. But there's time. There's still time.
There is. Yeah, there's time. And
Yes, we need a
We are
trip
young.
to Jerez.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
yes, Dad really wants
I'm
to go
on
to
a sherry
Jerez.
kick right now.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I would actually love to go. That's another place I haven't been. I've been to Spain a few times,
Yeah.
but never to Jerez. So
Oh, you haven't been to Jerez?
No, I can't believe it. I know. It's a travesty.
well, I've
what it
been
is.
It really is,
I've been
Frankie.
to Malaga,
I know.
which is not that far away, but I haven't been to
yes.
Jerez. So
Yes, I've been to Malaga also. I took a Spanish course there a few years ago. Yeah. That's that was a fun
Yeah.
place.
lovely.
Yeah.
Well, Frankie, what's next? What's cooking for you?
Well, speaking of travel, I'm going to Chile next month.
One of my favorite places.
Just on a vacation. Well, if you've been, I'm taking all tips. So if anyone has any, let me know.
Dad has been to Chile many times.
Amazing. So yeah, please offline. Let's talk about it because I do need some info. And then come up in January. Back at Bar 5 Day. That's February actually. So I'm part of the faculty for Bar 5. So looking forward to that. And I know there's something else coming up then. Oh, with Tales, I'm a co-chair of the Tales of the Cocktail Education Committee, the Bar Culture Committee track. And I'll be evaluating seminars over the next couple of months. And I'm looking forward to seeing what people are submitting. So if you have any great ideas for seminar submissions.
We have done that.
I'm sure. I know you have.
Just recently
we submitted one.
Yes.
That's
Great.
right.
Well, so I don't know what track it's in, but yeah, so definitely looking forward to that. And but on that note too, though, I'm really looking forward to more. I do love that part of education, and I'd like to offer more and see more education aimed towards bartenders and bartending. And that's something I've been trying to speak a lot more about, is the role of the bartender, because nobody ever taught me how to be a bartender. People taught me kind of how to bartend and make drinks, which is a different thing. And it took me a while to realize that there's an art and a craft. And I'd like to speak more about the art of bartending. So anyway, that's these are hopes and dreams for the future.
Wow, that sounds great. That gives me an idea. Maybe I'll submit another Tales seminar.
Well, not without me, because that's my idea.
I know it is your idea. well, let's coordinate. Let's partner up, and maybe we can submit it together.
Yeah, let's see.
We've definitely done seminars together before. I know that
for sure. Yeah, definitely. We've definitely worked together. So, and I always like hanging out with you. So,
you do you?
I do.
Whenever I'm in the city, we try to hang out. At least see each other. Sometimes sober, sometimes not.
I wasn't going to say anything
just how
about
it goes.
that.
It's just how it goes.
Yeah.
But till next time, Ms. Franky Marshall, this has been a great conversation.
And I do have one tip for Chile, your trip to Chile, Patagonia.
Yes.
If you can make it there, Patagonia.
Okay.
Oh yeah, go.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I scratched it off my list because it was so
far
far. Because I'm going to the desert.
Oh, you're going to the Atacama.
Let's see. Yes, I am. I'm going there. It's anyway. Let me see what I can do. But I appreciate that tip. And again, thank you so much for having me. It's been so much fun to speak to you both. And thank you all for. I'm just assuming there's a lot of people watching this at some point. So thanks anyone who's watching and listening.
We'll see. We'll see about that. Thank you, Franky.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Merci beaucoup. Bye.
Merci à
Thank
toi.
you.
Tipple Time is brought to you in part by Glenmorangie, Monin Syrups, and Libbey Glassware.
All right, welcome to season 3 of the Cocktail Guru podcast and Tipple Time, coming at you, your favorite segment, your favorite cocktail segment. Once again, thank you all so very much for watching and listening. I wanted to introduce you to a couple of products here that we're going to use in this cocktail. Now, this is a really well, not so well known, but to me it's well known. It's a classic cocktail. It's a blood and sand. It works really well at this time of the year when things are starting to get a little cooler because it utilizes blood orange. So I'm using Monin blood orange syrup. And this is great because Monin has natural flavors in their syrups. And this blood orange it's really nice. I just did a chef kiss if you didn't watch me there. And then, of course, we're using Scotch whiskey. So this is a Scotch whiskey-based cocktail. I'm using Glenmorangie 12-year-old single malt Scotch. Delicious in cocktails, delicious on its own, maybe a little cigar action. So with the Glenmorangie single malt Scotch, the Monin, we're also going to add some sweet vermouth and cherry hearing liqueur. So I'm going to go and make it right now. So I've got my Boston shaker with the mixing glass here, and I'm going to do 1.5 ounces of the Glenmorangie single malt Scotch whiskey. I am doing 3/4 ounce of the Monin blood orange syrup. Oh, look at that color. That's a really nice, rich red ruby color. We have some sweet vermouth that I'm adding here. I'm doing 3/4 ounce of sweet vermouth. And the final ingredient is cherry hearing. This is a Scandinavian cherry liqueur. We're doing 1/2 ounce in our mixing glass. Beautiful, lovely. And our glass, this is a Libbey. Oh my goodness, this is their Virtuoso Coupe. And it is so beautiful, isn't it? We love Libbey Glassware at the Cocktail Guru podcast. And I'm going to add some ice to my cocktail shaker here. And we'll give this a nice shake, okay? You ready? Here we go. All right. Hey, it's a new season. Do I have a new shaker face? No. It's the same old shaker face. All right. So we gave that a nice shake. And I'll strain into my beautiful Libbey Coupe glass. Look at that. That's a beautiful drink. And generally, you can have an orange peel, a nice long orange peel as the garnish. I have a mint sprig, still a little bit of mint growing in my garden. So I'm going to add that to this drink. Look at that. That is a beautiful, beautiful cocktail. I'm going to have a little sip. Okay, hold on one second. I smell the mint. I smell the Scotch. Oh, guys, I wish you could taste this. This is a really lovely cocktail. That is so delicious. Oh man, I'm gonna hang on to this for later. Thank you. See ya. I'm gonna go drink this. Cheers.
Tipple Time has been brought to you in part by Monin Syrups, Glenmorangie, and Libbey Glassware.
That does it for today's show.
If you enjoy what we do, please rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast.
To watch or listen to today's episode or to see the show notes, visit thecocktailgurupodcast.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, or TikTok.
The Cocktail Guru podcast is produced by First Reel Entertainment and can be seen on EatsDrinksTV.com, Spotify, and Zencaster, or heard on Apple, Google, Amazon, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.